Healer, family home. It's morning time and Bluey wakes up early because she doesn't want to miss the Candy Comet. What's that? Well, it's a magical space rock that only flies by once every 100 years. And when it does, it leaves behind delicious candy stars that are fun to eat. Bluey wants to get some, and so do all the other kids in town. She's flying well ahead of them, but then she slows down to look at a shooting star. Do you see it? Asks Bluey. Yep, says Bingo. Where he lives, what his house is like, and even what food he eats. Glorp is happy to answer all their questions. Then he shows them his spaceship. Wow, says Bluey. It looks like a giant lollipop. It is, says Glorp proudly. My people love space travel. We even turn our spaceships into lollipops. Do you want to see? Says Bingo. So, Glorp presses a button, and the spaceship transforms. It shrinks down until it's just the right size for putting into a mouth. Then it hardens into candy, turning the spaceship into a giant lollipop. It's beautiful, says Bluey. Thanks, says Glorp. Now we can catch the Candy Comet. Up there, they point their rocket ship towards the comet, ready to start their game. But when he does, the comet splits into smaller pieces.
Oh no,
says Glorp. I've ruined everything. Now, how will I make my grandmother feel better? You can still give her these, says Bluey. We don't need the comet anymore. So the kids give all the candy stars they collected to Glorp. He thanks them and waves goodbye as he flies away. The kids wave back until the lollipop spaceship is just a tiny speck in the distance. Then they turn to go home, but then they see Glorp hanging out of the open hatch. All the kids wish they could visit, too. Then Dad speaks. Well, kids, he says, it sounds like you had an exciting day. Thank you for sharing it with us. We didn't get any candy stars, says Bingo sadly. Oh, no, you don't, says Mum with a smile. Look inside the spaceship. As kids rush to look inside. To their surprise, there are candy stars everywhere. They must have fallen out of the comet when it split apart. We found some, too, says Dad. Me and your mom are gonna share these with the neighbors, says Dad. You guys have fun showing these to your friends at school tomorrow. Yay, say the kids. Hey, he calls out to them. Do you know where the Candy Comet is going? No, says Bluey. Helping Glorp was more fun than getting candy stars, she says to herself. Yeah, says Bingo. But collecting candy stars was more fun than crashing into planets. CS, says Bluey. Sometimes it's fun to be kind, says Bingo. Bluey and Bingo give each other a big hug. Good night, Bingo, says Bluey. Good night, Bluey, says Bingo. And the sisters drift off to sleep. We were hoping to play a little keepy uppy with it, says Bingo. Go, says Glorp. I'm going to the Lollipop Nebula. Want to come? Yeah, says Bluey. Great, says Gleep. Hop in. So the three kids and Glorp's dad all climb into the rocket ship together. Ready? Glorp asks Dad. Yep, says Gleep. And they blast off to catch the Candy Comet. It streaks across the sky and disappears. That must be the Candy Comet, she says. Just then, something appears in the view screen on her ship. It's a little alien with big eyes and a long neck. He's holding a sign that says, SOS. Hello, says Chloe. Are you lost?
yes.
Says the alien. I was following the Candy Comet, but I got lost. Can you help me find it? Sure, says Chloe. Hop in. She helps the alien get settled and then he tells her his name is Gleepglorp. It's nice to meet you, Gleepglorp, says Chloe. And where are you headed? To the Lollipop Nebula, says Gleep. I'm on my way to help my grandmother who isn't feeling well. Oh, says Chloe. Oh, that sounds important. We should probably get you there as fast as we can. Just then, Gleepglorp notices something. There's the Candy Comet, he says. Look, sure enough, they can see the comet streaking across the sky. It looks like a huge candy cane. Wow, says Chloe. It looks like fun. It sure does, says Gleep. But I promised my grandmother I would bring her some candy stars. Do you think maybe we could stop for a quick snack before we go? Sure, says Chloe. So they chase after the comet. Everyone is going to the spaceport to take off in rocket ships and try to catch the Candy Comet. Bluey and Bingo are eating breakfast. Dad is fixing his rocket ship, and Mom is drinking her coffee and looking at the newspaper. They're waiting with their parents for the rocket ships to arrive. When they do, the kids rush to board them. But Bluey and Bingo hold back. I think we need a plan, says Bingo. It's a plan. What? Asks Bluey. A plan to get Candy Comet, says Bingo. Yeah, everyone else wants some, too, says Bluey. How are we gonna get any if we don't have a plan? Just then, Chloe comes over with her dad. Hey guys, she says. Ready to race? Bluey shakes her head. Not without a plan, she says. So Chloe and her dad get onto their rocket ship and blast off. Bluey and Bingo watch them go. That rocket ship goes fast, says Bingo. Yeah, but we can go faster, says Bluey. She gets an idea. Let's play Keepy Uppy with the Candy Comet, she says. What? Asks Bingo. Don't you mean tag?
No,
says Bluey. Keepy Uppy. We keep the comet up in the air by hitting it with our rocket boosters. And we score points by hitting it with our claws. Oh, says Bingo. Like soccer. Yeah, says Bluey. But how are we gonna catch it? We'll use our super strength, says Bingo. What super strength? Asks Bluey. The one where we pretend we're super strong aliens with superpowers, says Bingo. Bluey giggles. So let's go catch that comet, she says. And the two sisters run to their rocket ship and blast off into space. Say, Mom, says Bluey. Can we go to the spaceport today? Course. Love, says Mom, not taking her eyes off the paper. It looks like there's a lot of excitement happening down there today. Then Bingo asks, will there be candy? Oh, yes, says Mom with a smile. Sounds like there will be plenty to go around. So the girls put on their spacesuits, and they head out to the spaceport with Dad. At the spaceport, Bluey and Bingo see all the kids from school. Bluey and Bingo chase after Chloe. As they fly, Bluey and Bingo catch up. They're looking for the comet. As they fly, the kids ask Gleepglorp all kinds of questions about his world. When the comet is close enough, Gleepglorp sticks his hand out the window to grab it. At the spaceport, the kids tell everyone about Gleepglorp and his Lollipop Nebula. Later that night, Bluey is getting ready for bed. She's looking at the candy stars that she collected. The end. Teeler family fun time. Yeah. Whoa. Look at those silly jelly mountains. And over there is a jelly river. I wonder if it's flowing or just jiggling. It better flow fast because I'm thirsty from all this jiggling. I got so wet doing this, I feel like I need a spa day. Oh, you silly healers. You should have known better than to land on a planet made of slime. Well, we did try and leave, but our spaceship got stuck in a slime swamp. Don't worry, Dad. We'll find a way to get you out of there, as I don't want to break any of his bones. This place is crazy. Let's get out of here. Healer family fun time. Yeah, I'll do it. You're the strongest one here, Dad. Use your super strength to smash the rock. Okay, kids. 3, 2, 1. Smash. Phew. That felt good. Now let's get Dad back to the spaceship. We have to get Dad back before he turns completely human again. Hurry up, Dad, let's go! So I'm sure of it. How about we pour some of this river water on your head? Dad, river water. That's genius. Space goo melts under extreme temperatures. If we pour the coldest water on Dad's rock, it will freeze the space goo and make it brittle. Then we can chip away at the rock and free Dad. Great idea, Bluey. Let's do it. Ready, Dad? Here goes. Nothing happened. I guess the temperature of the water wasn't extreme enough. Maybe I should pour all of the river water on him. That should do it. Maybe I should pour the river on him. That'll teach him to stay in the spaceship next time. Stuck. Our spaceship is stuck. I knew we should have stayed in the space station and played laser tag. I think I'll just wait here while you guys go exploring. No thanks. This planet is crazy. I'm staying in the spaceship with air conditioning and snacks. That's fine, Dad. Bingo and I. We'll go check out that slime river. Maybe we can steer our spaceship out of this swamp. Yes, of course. Go ahead, kids. Just don't get stuck like last time. Last time, Dad. You weren't there last time. What are you talking about? I wasn't talking about you, Dad. I was talking about myself. Oh, right. Sorry, I asked. It's just, everyone always gets mad at me for getting stuck in swamps. It's really hard being a dad sometimes. Bingo, you can't drink that. Everything here is made of slime. That is so gross. My paws are sticking together. Just imagine getting stuck like this forever. It's like trying to dig a hole in a giant marshmallow. That's because this isn't slime. It's a special type of space goo. Space goo. How does it work? It behaves like slime when it's cold, but once it starts to warm up, it hardens into this rock-like substance. That explains why my paw prints are already hardening. Quick, Bluey, we need to get back to the spaceship before I turn into a statue. Okay, but how are we gonna get back up that slime mountain? I have an idea. Let's roll ourselves down the mountain like a giant ball. Yay! Rolling! Whoa! Stop rolling! I don't want to roll anymore. Neither do I. I'm too dizzy, I think I need a rest. Let S just take a nap, and we figure out a way to get back to the spaceship later. Yuck. But also, it would be kind of nice to never have to clean my paws again. She didn't notice the gooey blob growing behind her until it was too late. Gotcha! I was hoping you wouldn't notice me until I was right behind you. You're so slow, Chili. How are you gonna catch me now? You won't catch me if you're stuck in this goo. Ha ha ha, help! Help! Someone, please help me. Chili, is that you? I heard you yelling. I'm stuck in this weird space goo. Can you come save me? Sure. But hurry up. The longer you stay in this goo, the harder it will be to move. Coming. Clean your paws, just look at them. They're covered in slime. You know what? I don't think I want to touch anything here. I'm gonna sit in the spaceship and stay clean. That's probably for the best, Bandit. We don't want to get stuck on this slime star forever. But who knows how long it will take for our ship to get unstuck. I'm so bored. I wish something fun would happen. Like what if we had a competition to see who could make the best slime slide? Oh, yeah, that sounds fun. Whoever wins gets to slide down the biggest slime mountain on this planet. See? Me. Okay, kids, let's give this a try. Who needs a spaceship when you have a slime ship? That's my motto. A slime ship. Why are you putting socks on your paws? Chilly? Because this slime is thick and pasty, just like my special spaghetti balls. The best thing to slide on is definitely socks. Interesting. Maybe I should have worn my mine are on the outside. Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. Today we're gonna play in the slime. Oh, what fun! Let's go explore. The spaceship lands on a strange planet. Out pop the healers. Where are we? This place is made of jelly. On your marks. Get set, go. Yeehaw, I'm off to win this competition. Haha, I knew I should have put my bathers on the outside. These boots were made for I can do this. I'm stuck. What am I gonna do? There has to be a way to get to the bottom of this slime mountain without getting completely soaked. Wait a second. I bet I can use my magic claws. I won't even need to slide. I'll just claw my way down. Zip. That's it. I'll just climb down this slime mountain with my bare paws. Nope. That's not going to work. This slime is too thick. It's more like jelly than slime. This isn't going to work. I'm too high up. I might as well close my eyes and jump. Make a wish, Bluey, and maybe it will come true. Up. Don't open your eyes, Bluey. If you open your eyes and you're still not at the bottom of the slime mountain, your wish won't come true. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm opening my eyes. I'm still not at the bottom.
Oh dear.
My wish didn't come true. This is gonna take ages to get out of. I hope whoever wins this competition has a plan to get back up this slime mountain. They certainly do. I found a way to get to the bottom of the slime mountain without getting stuck. I built a slime bridge. It's a slime bridge. How did you do it, Bluey? Well, I used all these little pebbles I found, and I started stacking them one by one, until I made a path all the way down the slime mountain. So wow! I bet this would be easier to do on an actual slime mountain. This is a slime swamp. Everything here is solid. My turn. Thanks, Bluey. That was a great idea. I can finish this game. I'm coming for you, Chili Sealer. Family fun time. Yeah, Bandit was first to reach the bottom of the slime mountain. Hooray! Next came Bluey and Bingo. Finally, Chili arrived, covered in slime. Meanwhile, at the top of the slime mountain, Bandit was trying to dig the spaceship out with a giant spoon. This is pointless. Back at the space station, Chile was having a great time playing slime tag with some new friends she met. Chile managed to free Bluey and Bingo from their space goo prison, but she couldn't free Bandit. He was completely encased in a giant space rock. Bluey, Bingo, and Chili were able to melt away most of the space rock, but Bandit's face was still encased in a block of ice. The Healer family barely made it back to the spaceship before Bandit turned back into a space rock. Hey! You ready to blast off on an intergalactic adventure?
I know I am.
Join me and my sister as we explore the far reaches of our very own backyard. We're talking constellations, planets, and everything in between. So get ready to learn something new and make some new friends along the way. Sure enough, as they approached, the asteroids started shaking. They saw planets and moons and even a shooting star. If you loved this episode as much as we do, be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an adventure. And hey, why not leave us a comment below? We love reading what you have to say. Until next time, keep exploring and never stop believing in the magic of friendship. See ya! But the highlight of the night was when everyone got glow-in-dark stickers. They even have a space helmet, said Bingo, looking at her reflection in the pond. I love this game, said Bluey. Me too, said Bingo. They played until the sky began to lighten. It's time to go home, said Bandit, appearing beside them. I had so much fun, said Bluey. Me too, said Bingo. They all waved goodbye to their new friends and headed back home. As they snuggled into bed, Bluey and Bingo knew that their adventure was over. But the memories would last forever. Hold on tight, yelled the guide. The ride was bumpy, but the kids didn't care. They were having too much fun. Next, they visited the constellation station. Wow, said Bingo. It's just like the picture book. The guide pointed out each constellation, telling them all about the stars. Can you see the Big Dipper? He asked. And what about Orion the Hunter? The kids nodded, their eyes wide with wonder. Who knows? You might even learn a thing or two about yourself. So sit tight and get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. We've got so much to explore. The possibilities are really endless. In the Healer family's backyard, Bluey and Bingo were lying on their backs, staring up at the stars. So, look at that, Bingo, said Bluey. What's that strange light over there? Bingo looked up. I don't know, but let's find out. Together, they crept closer to the strange light. The closer they got, the brighter the light shone. Shoo, whispered Bingo, hiding her eyes behind her paws. It looks like a giant ball of yarn floating in the sky. Just then, Chile and Bandit appeared beside them. What are you doing? Asked Bandit. We're investigating this weird light, said Bluey. It sure is strange, said Chile. I haven't seen that before. Suddenly, the light began to move across the sky. Come on, said Bandit. Let's follow it. The family set off across the yard, keeping their eyes on the glowing light. It was getting brighter with every step. Then, just as suddenly, it disappeared. Where did it go? Asked Bingo, disappointed. Maybe it was a UFO, whispered Bluey excitedly. What's that? Asked Bingo. I don't know, said Bluey. But let's find out. Bluey and Bingo crept around the outside of the house, looking for clues. On the other side, they found some shiny, sparkly bits on the ground. Look, Bingo, said Bluey. The mystery is getting more interesting. She carefully picked up one of the pieces and examined it closely. She said thoughtfully. I think I saw something like this at school. Just then, a familiar face appeared at the window. Called Lucky. Did you see that? Bluey and Bingo waved excitedly. Yeah, we saw the light too, said. What do you think it was? Lucky leaned out of the window. I'm not sure, but I think I have an idea where we can find out. Lucky led the kids down a path through the trees until they reached a clearing. This might be the best spot in all of Space Camp, said Lucky. Why is that? Asked Bingo. Because it's the perfect place for stargazing. Just then, a shooting star streaked across the sky. Make a wish, said Lucky. I wish I knew what that light was, said Bluey. As if by magic, the answer appeared in front of them. The Intergalactic Astronomy Squad. Read the sign. "Are you ready to blast off on an intergalactic adventure?" said the leader. "I sure am," said Bluey. "Me too," said Bingo. The others looked at each other and smiled. "Then let's get started." The first stop on their tour was the asteroid belt. "Look out," said the guide. "Bumpy." As the night wore on, the kids learned more about the universe. Hey! Thanks for joining me on another exciting episode of Bluey. This is Camp Cretaceous. We've got a whole week of dino fun in the sun before us. See, earlier in the day, they had been hit by a pretty serious space blizzard, and their ship had been knocked offline. He ran back to the clearing only to find the tents floating away into the sky, each of them carried aloft by a giant space worm. They were then sucked up into the mouth of a massive space whale and swallowed whole. As soon as they step outside, they realize that the landscape around them is changing in real time. One minute, there's ice everywhere. The next, it's lava. At first, he thought it was just a cool natural wonder, but then he realized something strange. The walls of the cave were covered in carvings. Some of them told stories of brave explorers, while others depicted terrifying battles between dinosaurs and unknown monsters. Gone is the ice, the fire, and the dinosaurs. In their place are gigantic buildings made of colorful blocks. Turns out that the robot belongs to a young girl named Maya, who built it to help her explore her new home planet. When she saw the campers hiding behind her robot, she assumed they were the enemy and ordered Dino Charge to destroy them. And to celebrate their successful escape from the planet changer, they all broke into a spontaneous dance. Also, do you not forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous content. Or here's another video you might like. Click here to see more. That's it for this time. See you next time. I guess that's why they call it Camp Cretaceous. You never know what kind of Cretaceous you're gonna get. Fortunately for our intrepid campers, Maya eventually noticed the familiar logo on their shirts and realized that they were fellow campers, just like her. The group quickly realizes that they've landed in the playground of some kind of giant, possibly the one who carved the strange messages in the caves. While Maya's mom wasn't too keen on the idea of intergalactic visitors, she eventually warmed up to the campers and even let them take a ride on her spaceship. Before long, it was time for the two groups to part ways. Maya promised to visit the campers sometime, and then she hopped aboard her spaceship, along with Dino Charge. Just as they're about to make their way back to the ship, though, they hear a loud voice say, "Who's there?" They hide behind some nearby building blocks just in time to see a pair of giant feet approach. One wall, however, caught his eye in particular. It had a carving of a space whale, almost identical to the one that had attacked the campers the night before. Then they find a patch of ground that seems to be stable and set about making camp there. That is, until a massive T-Rex suddenly stomps into view. Turns out this planet has not one environment, but all environments. It's an ever-changing landscape that shifts in a matter of minutes. Darius watched in amazement as the whale disappeared into the clouds, leaving him all alone in the now familiar, yet somehow even creepier, silent clearings. Not long after, he finds himself face to face with another dinosaur. This one, a cute little Triceratops. Ben slowly reaches out a hand to touch its nose, and the two become fast friends. The carving of the space whale begins to glow, and its enormous form bursts through the ceiling of the cave. Darius barely manages to scramble out of the way in time, and he watches as the beast destroys much of the surrounding landscapes. Suddenly, the carving on the wall begins glowing again. But this time, it's calling to Darius for some reason. The intrepid young camper that he is. He grabs his trusty flashlight and heads straight back into the cave to answer the call. Soon enough though, the ground starts shaking again, and the playful Triceratops transforms into a fearsome. It charges at Ben, who narrowly escapes before it can do any damage. He quickly makes his way over to the busted-up ship and hits the emergency beacon, hoping for a rescue. Without power, they were now forced to stay another night on the same planet they had crash-landed on. And since no one wanted to get too close to their busted ship, they all just decided to sleep in their very nice tents. Except for Darius, who could unfall asleep. So he went out for a walk. And we started off right with an episode full of danger, excitement, and heart-pounding adventure. Wait, that's just me. This is actually episode 6 of Camp Cretaceous. That S, because the space whale from the night before has regurgitated all of their stuff onto a strange new planet. And they've got to get back to their ship before their oxygen supply runs out. Their S also, the small matter of the fact that their ship doesn't seem to want to cooperate today. It turns out that because the landing thrusters were damaged during their crash landing, the ship can't lift off again without repairs, so they're going to have to spend another night on this strange new world. So let us go check out what kind of crazy situations our favorite little dino nerds found themselves in this time. We start off this episode with the campers all getting ready for bed. But there's some tension in the air. In the middle of his walk though, the ground started rumbling, and Darius looked back to see that the tents had all vanished. But when the other campers wake up and find Darius in the morning, they soon realize that their own problems are far more pressing than any fear of the unknown. And what a strange new world it is. While the others work on patching up their ship, Ben decides to stay behind and watch the ever-changing landscape. Darius, meanwhile, is busy with his own problem. In his explorations, he came across a large cavern filled with all kinds of strange rocks and minerals. As if to confirm Darius's suspicions, the ground begins to shake once again. When the others finally manage to get their ship running, they find that the mysterious planet has changed yet again. They then watch as a massive dino-charged robot emerges and begins destroying everything in sight. The two groups quickly became friends, and Maya invited the campers over to her house for a snack. Maya gone, the campers headed back to their ship and prepared for lift. Now it's time for a game. What would you do if you found yourself on a planet that changed environments every few minutes? Let us know your thoughts below. Hey, do you want to keep watching? Great! Here's another video you might like. Get ready for an out-of-this world adventure with the Healer family as they blast off to become space pups in this special episode of Bluey, Episode 1. Lift off, Bluey. Our story begins with Bluey and Bingo excitedly bounding through the backyard, their tails wagging like they're already floating in outer space. The sisters are on their way to Space Pup Camp, a place where any dog can become an astronaut and explore the galaxy. As they approach the camp, they can't help but marvel at the sleek silver rockets and the friendly faces of the other pups, who are also eager to start their trainings. When they arrive, all the pups are suited up in their snazzy new spacesuits. It's not easy though. Some pups, including Bluey and Bingo, find it difficult to keep their balance and end up bumping into each other or the walls. But they don't let that stop them from trying again and again until they finally get the hang of it. Each suit is customized to fit its wearer perfectly, ensuring that every pup feels comfortable and confident as they embark on their galactic journey. As the sun sets, they all head back home, dreaming of the adventures that await them on their upcoming missions. They're going on their first real mission inside the space simulator, but there's a twist. This mission is a secret one, and the pups have to work together to figure out what their top secret orders are. Bluey and Bingo's suits are especially adorable, with bright blue helmets and matching tails that wag back at them excitedly. One of the pups suggests that they could be transporting something very important, like a baby alien or a magical crystal. Another pup thinks they might be on a rescue mission to save some stranded astronauts. They celebrate their success with a big party, complete with a cake that looks just like a rocket ship. It's a chance to learn about friendship, teamwork, and the importance of trying new things. And they can't wait to see what the galaxy has in store for them next. During the celebration, the pups reflect on their experience and talk about how proud they are of themselves for working together and completing the mission. The family spends the rest of the day playing and relaxing, knowing that their next Space Pup adventure is just around the corner. Who knows what adventures await them in the vast galaxy, but one thing is for sure, with their courage and determination, there's no challenge too great for these heroic pups to overcome. As they recount their experiences, Chili and Bandit couldn't help but beam with pride at their children's bravery and sense of adventure. So keep dreaming big and exploring the galaxy, within and without. And don't forget to subscribe, so you never miss an episode. Now let's go explore the galaxy, and all the wonders it holds. Who knows what adventures await us next? Sweet dreams, little astronaut, and may your adventures be filled with laughter, friendship, and endless possibilities. Chili, always supportive and encouraging, reminds her pups that no matter what adventures they choose to go on, she and Bandit will always be there to support and guide them. The pups discuss different scenarios and possible solutions, working together to come up with the best plan of action. Another pup says that they learned that no matter how scary or challenging a situation may seem, as long as they have their friends by their side, they can overcome anything. It's a night they'll never forget, filled with laughter, fun, and the joy of accomplishment. And as the sun rises the next morning, the pups wake up feeling refreshed and ready for their next adventure. Put on your favorite space-themed pajamas, snuggle up with your favorite stuffed animal, and let your imagination soar as we read this delightful bedtime story together. Do you have a favorite character from Bluey? Share with us so we can look for them in the next episode. And if you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun and learning. But before they can blast off on their first mission, the pups need to learn how to float in zero gravity, under the guidance of their patient and knowledgeable instructors. The pups take turns hopping into a giant ball and rolling around a room that simulates weightlessness. They have to navigate through asteroid fields, repair a damaged spaceship, and even make an emergency landing on a faraway planet. Through it all, the pups remain calm and collected, relying on their training and their friendship to get them through. And speaking of getting the hang of things, how about checking out this super cool space simulator? It looks just like a rocket ship, and it even has flashing lights and buttons to make it feel real. She giggles uncontrollably, making everyone laugh and realize that becoming an astronaut isn't only about bravery, it's also about having fun. The pups are super excited to try it out, and they line up one by one to take their turn. But when it's Bluey's turn, she takes a little too much excitement and accidentally floats upside down. After their training session, the pups gather together to discuss their experiences and exchange stories about what they want to see in space. The next day, it's time for the pups to put their training to the test. As they enter the simulator, they notice that everything is blacked out and they can't see anything. As they continue their mission, the pups encounter different obstacles and challenges that test their teamwork and problem-solving skills. As the mission comes to an end, the pups successfully complete their objective and return home safely. One of the pups mentions that they think being an astronaut is even cooler than they imagined. The party continues late into the night, with the pups dancing and playing games. They know that being space pups is more than just a fun pretend game. When Bluey and Bingo wake up the next morning, they can't wait to tell their parents all about their amazing adventures at Space Pup Camp. Bandit, with his playful nature, jokes that maybe he should apply to become a space pup himself, much to the amusement of the whole family. Bluey and Bingo give their parents a big hug, feeling grateful for their unconditional love and encouragement. So join Bluey and Bingo and their fellow space pups as they blast off on a new mission, discovering exciting planets, making new friends, and learning valuable lessons about friendship, teamwork, and bravery along the way. Now it's time for you to become a space pup and embark on your own intergalactic adventure. Hey, little astronaut, do you have what it takes to be a space pup? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, just like Bluey and Bingo, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. Before we blast off, make sure to hit that thumbs up button for more intergalactic adventures. In the final episode of Bluey's Space Camp, Bluey and the Space Pups have one last mission before they can go home. It's up to them to send a message of friendship to the stars. But will it reach another planet in time? Let's find out. Will Bluey and her new friends be able to complete their final mission before heading home? All the space pups are tired from all their hard work and play. But it's not time to head home just yet. There's one more mission for them to complete. The pups gather around as Loki explains that their final mission is to launch a message into space. Lucky says this is the most important thing they'll do at Space Camp, because it's about sharing the message of friendship with the universe. Bluey quickly finishes her note, which reads, "To the creatures of the universe. We come from a small blue planet called Earth." They all take turns reading what they wrote, and each message is filled with themes of friendship and kindness. Then all the campers line up with their spaceships and prepare for launch. As they blast off into space, the camera pans out to show their little spaceships flying through an asteroid field. We hope you can be our friends. The pups jump right in, but they quickly learn that the aliens' idea of fun is very different from theirs. The pups join in on the fun, but Lucky reminds them again that they came to make friends. So they move on to the next planet. The pups get dressed up in their finest clothes and enjoy a delicious meal together. But after eating, the aliens bring out a cake and start singing happy birthday. They ask the pups if they want to celebrate their anniversary, but the pups politely decline. They say they would like to make some friends, but they don't need a party to do that. She takes a deep breath and yells, "Let's do this!" It's covered with beautiful sparkling dust that looks like a never-ending supply of glitter. Then the pups head home. Bluey is sad to leave her new friends, but she knows she'll never forget them. She and Bingo wave from their spaceship until they can't see the camp anymore. The pups take their places and get ready to launch their message. Did you like seeing Bluey and the other space pups making new friends? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, so you never miss an exciting episode. Until next time, this is your host reminding you to keep an eye out for magic, because you never know when or where you might find it. Bye. They yell, 3, 2, one, and launch their spaceships all at once. Chili and Bandit are so proud of everything Bluey and Bingo accomplished at Space Camp. Then the family watches as the other pups and their families take off. The screen fades to black as we hear everyone saying, "We love you, Maya." Then the whole gang shouts, "To infinity and beyond." They blast off into the sky, leaving the planet behind. The aliens apologize and invite the pups to their favorite planet. They like to play Marco Polo by bumping into each other. So the pups get out of the pool and go to the next planet. Then Lucky asks each pup what they'll write in the message. It's no longer covered in dust. Instead, it's spelled out the word friends in big, bright letters. Then the pups arrive home. They're throwing a barbecue and invite the pups to stay for some space burgers. But the pups politely decline and tell the aliens that they came to make friends, not eat food. The aliens understand and tell the pups that they'll be passing by a planet full of stardust. They say the pups should visit because it's the perfect place to send their message into the universe. And if so, what adventures will they have along the way? Let's jump into it. Bluey looks out the window and sees a beautiful planet in the distance. They get out of their spaceships and look around for the best spot to launch their message. Bluey spots a hill at the top of a mountain and suggests they go there. As they walk, Lucky tells the pups that this is it. This is their last chance to fulfill their mission or have to put everything they've learned at Space Camp into action now. The aliens say this is their favorite planet because it reminds them of home. Then they introduce the pups to some of their friends. There are all shapes and sizes of aliens here, but they all seem very friendly. The pups get along with them so well that they forget all about their mission. But Lucky reminds them once again that they came to make friends. So they say goodbye to the aliens and head to the next planet. She asks if that's where they're going, and Zoom replies, "Almost." But they soon move on when they realize they turn into sugar cubes if they stay too long. Next, they visit a planet full of bouncy castles, slides, and ball pits. The pups have so much fun playing here that they forget all about their mission. But Lucky reminds them they came to make friends, so they move on to the next planet. Just then, the pups see a huge black hole up ahead and start to panic. But Zoom tells them not to worry, because he has a special trick to get them out of this dangerous situation. He instructs them to open their windows and let their friendship shine through. As they all do this, their spaceships combine to make one large ship. Then their combined friendship powers push away the dark clouds, blocking the light, revealing a beautiful view of the galaxy. Snickers says he's gonna tell the aliens about his super strength and how awesome it is. As they approach, the sun winks at them and says, "Hello." The pups get out of their spaceships, and the sun asks them what brings them to his planetary system. Bluey steps forward and says they came to make friends. So the sun introduces the pups to his 7 planets. But then Bingo interrupts and tells Snickers not to be selfish. She says there are other things that are more important than being strong. Snickers looks down at his paws, realizing he's been a bit self-centered throughout the week. He says he'll write about how lucky he was to meet such great friends at Space Camp. Everyone cheers when they hear this. Hi, I'm your host. And today, we're going to watch the series finale of Bluey's Space Camp. Our adventure begins with Bluey and the other puppies finishing their training exercises. Bluey says she wants to tell the aliens how much fun she had at Space Camp, and how grateful she is to have made so many new friends. When Bluey finishes, she looks up at the night sky and sighs. She says she wishes there was some way they could send their messages faster. Then all of a sudden, Zoom appears, shooting through the sky like a rocket ship. Zoom zooms down in front of the pups and says, "Who wants a ride?" The pups all jump on board and off they go, flying higher and higher above the ground. Then the pups get to work writing their messages on little pieces of stardust. As they soar through space, the pups continue writing their messages until their spaceship's loud engines start to shake everything apart. When they get back to space camp, the pups go inside to wait for the others. Soon, all the campers arrive with their completed notes. The pups' ships fly past planets and shooting stars as they travel across the galaxy. They pass by more planets until finally reaching their destination, a bright yellow sun with 7 planets orbiting around it. The first planet is made entirely of candy, and the pups enjoy eating their way through it. There, they meet some alien creatures who invite them to a pool party. On the next planet, the pups meet a group of aliens playing a game that looks like soccer. Only with 7 players on each team, and no rules. There they meet a bunch of aliens who invite them to a fancy dinner party. This planet is full of trees, plants, mountains, and oceans, just like Earth. And wouldn't you know it? They run into those same aliens from the pool party. The pups thank the aliens for their help and blast off to the Stardust Planet. When they reach the top of the hills, the pups form a circle around Bluey. As they reach the top of the atmosphere, they take one last look at the Stardust Planet. Safe. Back at Space Camp, the pups reunite with their families. They all give each other hugs and say goodbye as they fly through space. The pups take one last look at the Stardust Planet. They all jump out of their spaceship and run to give their parents the biggest hugs. And that's the end of our Bluey adventure. What did you think of the series finale? Welcome to Camp Lake Bottom, where we take our jobs seriously, but never ourselves. It's another beautiful day at Camp Lake. The campers are happily playing until it's time for another exciting adventure with the Space Scouts. Today's mission: deliver a package to an unknown planet. So the Space Scouts pile into the rover and zoom out of camp. At the controls is Gretchen, who, after accidentally launching the rocket into hyperspace, crash lands the team on a strange new world. After taking off, the campers prepare to leave. But they need to deliver the package first. When Bingo pops out of a tree and tells the others she found the perfect place to put the package. A big bubble on top of a hill. But when the campers try to help her carry it there, Bingo loses her balance and floats away inside a giant bubble. When they step outside, they find themselves on a huge bouncy castle. And it's not just any bouncy castle. It's made up of gigantic bubbles. The other campers quickly float over and pull him out to safety. Just then, a friendly alien approaches the group and introduces herself as Boopsie. She explains that she was the one who requested the package from the Space Scouts because she needed a new set of bubble wands. And she thanks the team for returning her lasso, which she used to tend her bubble garden. The team splits up so everyone can find their own bubble. But when Lumpy blows a huge bubble and tries to climb inside, it pops, sending him hurtling through the air. But before long, they start to feel homesick and wish they were back at camp. Luckily, their wish is granted when Boopsie appears and offers to take them home in her spaceship. Before any of the others can react, Zoom jumps into Lumpy's bubble just in the nick of time and saves him from certain doom. And with that, the campers head back to Camp Lake Bottom. They're in the middle of a giant bubble planet called Planet Bubblon. As they popped bubbles and danced, they created a strong bond that helped them overcome any obstacles. Grab some friends and work together to complete these awesome activities. Are you ready to blast off on another exciting adventure? Well, good. Because we've got a whole universe of fun waiting for you on our channel. From Camp Lake Bedham to Dino Dan, there's something for everyone. So buckle up and get ready for lit. You never know what wacky worlds we'll explore or what amazing adventures we'll have. One thing's for sure, though, it's gonna be out of this world, so don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and join us for all the fun. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never stop believing in the power of friendship and teamwork. We'll see you soon. You can make a giant bubble solution and see who can blow the biggest bubble. Or you can create a bubble wand and see whose bubbles can travel the farthest. And don't forget to share the fun by posting pictures of your activities online. Who knows, you might even be featured on our page, so grab your friends and get creative. Let's have some bubbly fun together. They show off their new bubble wands, and the team decides to end the day with a bubble-popping dance party. The episode ends with the whole camp laughing and having fun together. But before he can convince the others, Lumpy accidentally steps on a spiky ball and knocks over a bucket of suds. We hope you had as much fun watching as we did making it. If you liked this episode, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more Camp Lake Bedham adventures. Zoom suggests riding another bubble to safety, but when the others point out that they don't have a bubble wand, he comes up with a crazy idea: a bubble-popping dance party. The campers learned that working together allowed them to accomplish something they couldn't do alone, like stopping the giant bubble tornado. They also learned that even when things go wrong, like when Lumpy accidentally knocked over the bucket of suds, it's important to work together to fix the problem. At first, their efforts seem pointless. The bubble just keeps growing larger, but they keep trying, and soon they start making progress. Slowly but surely, the bubble shrinks and shrinks until it pops, revealing a brand new set of bubble wands. This creates a massive bubble tornado that threatens to destroy the entire planet. As the campers explore their surroundings, they soon discover that everything on this planet is made of bubbles, including the trees, the houses, and even the food. But one by one, the bubbles pop, and before long, only one remains. He says that being a space scout is all about helping others and working together, even if it means missing out on some fun. Lumpy smiles and agrees. The campers cheer as they finally get Bingo back, but she's still trapped inside the bubble. The campers watch helplessly as the bubble floats further and further away. This time, Zoom lets go of the vines and dives headfirst into the bubble, determined to save Bingo, whether she likes it or not. The bubble floats higher and higher until they reach the top of a cloud. Then suddenly, it pops. And although she promised she'd be fine, they know they need to do something before she gets too far away. With no way to fly that high, the campers devise a plan to lasso the bubble with vines and bring her back down. But the plan doesn't go as expected and ends up creating more bubbles. Suddenly, Lumpy comes up with an idea. He ties some vines to his belt and uses his weight to drag the bubbles back towards the others. To make things worse, the bubble starts floating away again. And just like that, Zoom finds himself in the middle of a giant bubble bath. Spoopsy invites the campers to stay as long as they want, and they accept, except for Zoom, who wants to get back to Camp Lake Bedham as soon as possible. The campers quickly run for cover, but they know they need to stop the tornado before it's too late. The campers gather around the biggest bubble they can find and start stomping, clapping, and spinning. With their new wands, the campers can finally ride bubbles to safety. Safe on the ground, Lumpy apologizes for causing the trouble, but Zoom tells him there's no need to be sorry. Meanwhile, the rest of the campers use their bubble wands to zoom around Planet Bubblon. As the campers say goodbye to the planet, Boopsie gives them each a bubble wand to remember their visit. Back at camp, the campers tell everyone about their amazing adventure on Planet Bubblon. Hey campers, thanks for joining the Space Scouts on another exciting adventure. On Planet Bubblon, teamwork was key to saving the day. But most importantly, the campers learned that working together doesn't mean they can't have fun. Now it's your turn to join in the fun. Hey there, Space Scouts!